Hey, it's me, Big P. Wanted to do a quick video showcasing the Blade Trap Trickster I did in Mayhem. Wasn't that good of a character, but definitely felt functional enough for a league start scenario if I got, this far in Mayhem. Long story short, Blade Trap felt kind of good, but trying to go for Ephemeral Edge, CI, high ES scaling was just a bridge too far in a week-long Void League. Definitely, something to look into. In a trade league or something like that. So if anything, this is just another vid on the channel and something to showcase kind of I'd say it's a functional league starter. It felt pretty good. I basically picked up the Hion's Fury. That's still what I had from the first video once I was like just about to finish the campaign. Picked this up at level 62 and it serves the purpose of just a big flat lightning damage rolls, so you can kind of sort of do ephemeral edge style. The tree isn't that different. I mean, basically the only things you would drop is anything having to do with life to go into ES. Pretty similar. I was just following trees on PoE Ninja that were pretty similar, but then went into like life stuff or more spell stuff and stuff like that. Overall, I would say it kind of felt weak because of little things like polymath not really having. It's basically a dead node besides the damage because traps don't count as your kill, so none of the recovery in maps, which I really could have used in these Mayhem maps. They just didn't show up. And then Spellbreaker is great, but it is kind of like my only ES recharge. I mean, basically my recovery on the build was hoping for, Wicked Ward to, Wicked Ward itself just kind of makes it so it's more consistent. You might actually drop it with Spellbreaker. I didn't try that. But, you can't get Leech. Not going to use anything else. Trickster is just kind of feeling like a weird middling ascendancy, especially because traps itself don't really have anything to do with it. Might as well just go Saboteur if you're going to go traps in some situations. Trickster is probably specifically best for skilling or gearing for Ephemeral Edge and, that whole thing. So let's just mouse over the gear real quick. Nothing insane. I was on a tabby, but I dropped down to a 5 link just so I could get, a decent life and ES pool. And I actually got the Blade Trap damage enchant. I actually did that on stream. I don't know if I have that. I was joking about it because I got twice enchanted in my Uber lab, which I barely scraped through. None of my gear is too insane. Basically just standard stuff to fix resistances where you need it. Got some okay gear here and there. Actually, yeah, it's not that bad. Could do way worse. And the flasks weren't set up. Let's just do a tier 10 map so you can see how shitty the build is. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but 85, I think I at least wanted to hit 90, but progress in the Atlas was quite slow. Mayhem was just, while it was Mayhem, it was really inconsistent, and Blade Trap especially, the delayed sort of damage and stuff like that. It's not great. The playstyle is fantastic though, but yeah, take a look. I mean, I'm using Vol Discipline just to kind of shore up the weak recovery. We don't have any HP recovery, which really hurts. I don't know why I'm looting. The league is done in 3 hours and it's void. So, I mean, it's just Blade Trap. Honestly, the gameplay's been the same since Act 2, pretty much. I mean, we had more bells and whistles, like we got to set up for Arcanus brand. I'll go over all the skills we're using because it does have some gem flexibility. Which is good, because I wanted to run Cast on Death Portal after, stuff like that starts to happen. Yeah, no recovery. Basically, your only life recovery is your flask. Which is fine. Oh, good. Syndicate's here. Great. What's up, guys? A lot of times the positioning with Blade Trap, you kind of want to go back and forth over the same area. But yeah, this build has no mitigation, no block. No max res, it's very bare bones. And by the way, Hion's Fury makes you take more damage per frenzy charge. Kinda didn't really notice it, in Trade League, but in Mayhem, becomes really apparent. Let's just do the, I'm not even gonna run this whole map. Let's just try the boss at tier 10, because as you can see, I didn't really have much Atlas progress or anything like that. Yeah, because once I figured it's like, okay, I'm not gonna level this too much. I was just like, all right, let's just hit 85 and then call it. want to save my, especially because those last 5 levels would be a lot of delving, and endless delve starts in a couple hours. So yeah, definitely want to save myself. Luckily, the what it lacks in mapping, it makes more than makes up for in single target damage. Especially if you can do a pre setup on anything. But that's just any trap, you know. Overall, I definitely liked using it as a League starter. Would I try it again as Trickster? Maybe, if I specifically wanted to do the ephemeral edge. You know, you could just level it as Blade Trap, didn't feel that bad. And, you know, this is a tier 10 map with the, you know, 1 chaos item. So you could definitely set up like a mid-tier farming strat or whatever. Probably with a bit more investment could safely get it into, or just a slightly different setup, could safely get it into some sort of, you know, red map farming, you know, at least tier 14, so you're hitting the Exile and whatever, but yeah, we're not going to do anything more than that. Definitely felt a little underwhelming, and in retrospect, that increased damage taken per frenzy charge, it only ends up being 5% at the max. Right, I think I have 5 max charges. Or maybe it's just 4? Oh no, yeah, I picked up the extra frenzy charges there. But yeah, let's go over the gear, or let's just go over the skills, because the gear is just League start stuff and a strong, unique item. So yeah, Blade Trap, Inspiration, because mana can become an issue if you're not running Clarity. You'll kind of just bottom out, and it, you know, with traps especially, you want to never have to wait. You could maybe go Eldritch Battery if you want to completely forego Energy Shield, but that's a little different. Yeah, Inspiration, Swift Assembly, Charge Traps, Lightning Pen, and Trap and Mind Damage. Lightning Pen would probably be the last link. I just didn't want to bother coloring it. It was like the last day I knew I was going to stop at 85. And Lightning Pen is pretty much only necessary once you get into maps where some bosses might have, or just some map modifiers might beef up that resistance. You'll really notice it here. Charge Traps is just, yeah, power and frenzy charges, and yeah, Trap My Damage would be the 6th link. I have Frost Blink and Onslaught. That's kind of cute. We're using Precision as our aura because actually you do need to pay attention to where it's a chance to hit. It's not even maxed. Without it though, it's terrible. So you definitely need to run Precision. Highest level as you can get it. I think I'm even running some accuracy on the tree here with the mana reservation efficiency for Precision. Should really be all you need. You might need to go into Acuity here if I was going to get a couple more levels, if you really notice it. I think you can kind of solve that in other ways though, and you know, if not just in sheer number of attacks being done by your traps, it's probably not necessary. Cast on Death Portal, there's a lot of gem flexibilities. You have a couple open slots, definitely fit that in for Mayhem. And then we have a, this is the exposure setup as well as my curse setup. It's an Arcanist brand with Assassin's Mark, Wave of Conviction, and Calling Strike. You could probably go for Conductivity if you want to, for whatever, if you have crit cap elsewhere. I'm not even close to it. Not to mention I'm also using Lightning Damage Mastery. Lightning with non-crit is lucky. You kind of level with this. You might spec out of this once you max out your crit, but it's still pretty good. Like, I don't know. If you're nowhere near crit cap, you know, even conditionally, like, I might use that. And yeah, Bear Trap with multiple traps. I like using this because even though it keeps the cooldown longer, or like, you know, you can still use it when there's just one on cooldown, and then multiple traps. It can just, especially in the more hectic, whatchamacallit, Mayhem maps, you just get a better chance of covering. Although I will say, just generally speaking, feels bad to have that delay between damage, especially in Mayhem, where stuff is just jumping out at you. Skitterbot's Clarity and Discipline are the other auras. You can probably, honestly, like stuff like Ghost Dance felt pretty dead. We don't have a lot of evasion rating, just over 5k, so Ghost Dance is recovering like what, like quick maths, not that much. Let's just say not as much as it should be. Again, defensively, the build was really struggling. You know, we're fine on resistances. We got the +1 here, but like, I'd really want more plus resistances if I was going to actually craft a gear. Well, I mean, if I was going to actually really get into crafting gear, it would probably be ES gear for Ephemeral Edge. Again, this is just a baseline starting point for something you can level into, kind of farm up into. Again, specifically probably for the use case of just leveling it an Ephemeral Edge Trickster, because this isn't really that good on its own. And yeah, what else? That's about it. Flasks or whatever, you can probably get Onslaught somewhere else, but I just like having it on the Flask. I also had it on here for mapping purposes, just because it can come up on bosses and stuff now and then when I want it, but either way, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna... I streamed a bit of this, but once I like got into maps, I kind of was just playing off stream, just like kind of like, okay, get a level here and there, and then Alt F4 when I started to die in like a rippy map. Mayhem actually was pretty frustrating. I was talking some shit on Twitter about how it's like, just get good, doesn't matter. I played the Gauntlet, I got into maps in the Gauntlet, like I'm big shit. Like, no, you'll feel the rogue exiles will like 2-tap you. Even the invasion bosses, weird shit like that. Mayhem was brutal, I can't lie, so that's why I was only able to hit 85 and barely getting there. Honestly, I thought it would end on Friday. It's Monday right now, so Endless Delve is starting and this is ending. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video to put a cap in the Blade Trap Trickster. I guess I'll go over the Ascendancy a little bit, although I kind of did, you know. Once the Head is just fantastic. I cannot see, it's pretty much between this and Polymath, like these are the ones that like I would probably almost always, with very few exceptions, almost always take first on Trickster, unless it's just like not, you know, relevant for the build for whatever weird reason. You know, if you're doing like some weird like charge stacking stuff, you might have honestly looked into that for you know, Hion's Fury, but then that's like 7% more damage taken. I don't know, not great. And yeah, like I said, the recovery left a lot to be desired. That's why I'm kind of really looking forward to running Blade Vortex Trickster and Delve, if not just to get, you know, Polymath, and then also I'm going to go Soul Drinker instead of Spellbreaker, while still using Spell Suppression. You know, we're just going to get everything total package, and then that should be really smooth to 90. We're going to be streaming that and chilling. Yeah, then after the hectic, you know, kind of piecing together of this build, I think that Endless Delve is going to be a real nice smooth thing. I guess I don't even really want to upload the POB. I mean, I will have it here, if not just for posterity's sake, you know, because this character's void in a couple hours. So yeah, let me know what you did for Mayhem. Let me know what you're thinking for Delve. I don't know if maybe I'll do a quick vid to throw something up on the channel for Endless Delve as the plan, and then once I'll probably hit 90 and then see if I have gear for another roll, or maybe just try a hardcore build to like 50 for the box or something like that. But yeah, either way, thanks for watching. Let me know what you want to see more on the channel. I have a lot of other games I've been playing, kind of. I know Path League is coming in early December, but I've been playing a lot of other stuff. I mean, I just played some Splatoon and Modern Warfare 2, and I want to play Tactics Ogre. I've been playing some mobile games, you know, all sorts of shit. So let me know if you have any other sort of stuff. I'm definitely going to try and branch the channel out into more stuff, even when there's a lot of Path stuff here, just because, yeah, I love video games. I love Path of Exile. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.